What's up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Leading from the Middle of the Pack, and today we're going to be chatting all about hidden leaders, unveiling the impact of middle management. Middle management? What the heck is that? No, we're talking about leaders who actually aren't leaders within the company, because that's what this is all about, leading from the middle of the pack. It's how to lead as a leader whenever you're not in charge, number one. Number two, this is also all about how to find those leaders if you are a leader who are leading from the middle of the pack, and so we're going to be talking about how to unveil those hidden leaders. So, cue up theme song. We'll be right back. The big question is this: how are leaders like us, who aren't necessarily in a management position, who go out and get our hands dirty, who are ready to answer their calling from God to lead, who are driven to learn and grow, gain the trust and respect of those around us, to actually be heard while not coming across as an authoritative prick? These are the questions, and this is the podcast that will give you the answers. Hi, my name is Dan Greer, and welcome to Leading from the Middle of the Pack. Awesome! So glad you guys are still here. Well, I've got one request for you real quick, and this is going to come to the front of it, because I know y'all always hear me say it at the end, but I'm going to say it at the front. If y'all like this stuff, would you share it? Could you share it and tag me? That'd be absolutely amazing. It'd be awesome. I'm just coming off of a crazy mastermind that I went to that was in DC, and they said, always ask to share. Ask everybody to share everything all the time. So I'm asking you guys to share this. That's one favor if you can do for me. We're doing this absolutely free for you guys, because I enjoy making these, and so does my team. So anyways, let's talk all about hidden leaders. A little bit we want to talk about when it comes to hidden leaders is what is a hidden leader? How do we determine what a hidden leader is? Well, a hidden leader is exactly what it says. It's a leader who's hiding in a position that's not a leadership role. So, a lot of times they could be a truck driver or a admin or an assistant or whatever, right? It could be anybody in any position, no matter what, but they have a way of mustering people up and inspiring them and getting them to work hard, right? Without being authoritative. Now, if you go back and listen to the theme song, if you listen to our song, I took a lot of time writing out the intro. It's not really a song, I don't sing it, but the intro to this podcast, and it talks about how to be a leader without coming across as an authoritative prick. Okay, now we've talked all about pricks and stuff like that, and we know what pricks are. They're people who you don't want to be around. We've all been around a bunch of pricks in our lives. Now, authoritative leads into that as well. Because when we get into this hidden leaders, there's a lot of people who think they're leaders, but they're not leaders. They're bosses. And you guys know who I'm talking about, because these bosses, they sit there and they're like, hey, you need to go do this. And they think they're a leader because they're telling people what to do, but they're not inspiring them to do it. They're saying, hey, come on, dummy, come get this done, right? And that's what's going on with them. So you need to definitely make sure that you're not being authoritative, because that's not a leader. That's a boss. We don't want bosses in this world. There's plenty of bosses out there. I hate bosses. I don't want anybody to be a boss. I want people to be leaders. Leaders transform people and transform the way they think. They inspire people, whereas bosses drive them with a whip and chain. The Egyptians were bosses to the Israelites because the Israelites were slaves, right? Whereas Joseph was a leader to the Egyptians. He inspired them to save 7 years of food so they could have 7 years, so they could make it through the 7 years of famine and build those storehouses and stuff like that. He inspired them to do stuff. Jesus is an inspiration. He inspires people to do stuff as well, even to this day, right? The dude was crucified on the cross, and he still is inspiring people like me every single day. So a good leader inspires people. They don't crack the whip. Now, I do have to say that when we're talking about hidden leaders, sometimes as a leader, you do have to crack the whip once in a while. I hate that part of being a leader. I hate being the person who comes in and go, hey, how come this isn't done? Because sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to be that person. Right? And I don't like it. I don't like that part of being a leader, but that's part of it, right? That's part of what we got to do. That's part of where it comes from. And so that is one thing that I wanted to kind of touch on real quick, was that when you're looking for those hidden leaders, you're not looking for a boss, you're looking for a leader, right? So whenever I look at it, it's kind of funny. I'm just going to pick on my kids here for a second. I have 4 kids. They're all absolutely amazing. They're all wonderful, and they are all great leaders. But I definitely have 1 or 2 that are bosses, and they know who I'm talking about. They don't like it when I call them a boss, because they know they know the difference between a boss and a leader, and they're between, my youngest is 11, my oldest is 17, so they're between 11 and 17, and they know the difference between a boss and a leader, right? Have you taught your kids that? Have you taught them what a boss is? Have you taught them what a leader is? Are you leading by example, or are you bossing them, right? So I definitely have one kid. When they want something, they get loud and they yell. And it's like, that's a boss thing. You're trying to get people to do something. Or I've got another one that'll say, hey, come do this, dummy. Right? And I think they're joking, but they're not really joking. Like, they are joking when they say dummy, don't get me wrong, but they're not really joking, right? Because they do want somebody to just go help them. And so that's like, it's saying, hey, would you mind coming and helping me with this real quick? Yeah, and then afterwards, we'll do something for you, right? Big difference. Big difference in the way you talk to people. That's what a leader is. A leader says, hey, would you mind helping me with this? Let's get this work done, and we'll come in and we'll play a game together. Right? Whether it's a board game or it's a video game, I don't know. Whether it's a game on their phone, I got no friggin' clue, right? But like a leader that's in the middle of the pack that's hidden, you can see these people, you can spot them, they inspire other people to work. There are people in this world who are not leaders. Not everybody's a leader, and I want you to realize that. And it's okay if you're not a leader. It's okay. It's okay that there's not leaders in this world, and not everybody's a leader. Wouldn't it all suck if everybody was like Dan? Yeah, it would be a very interesting world. I know there would be tons of energy, and everybody would be like, having super big dreams and scare the crap out of people with how big they dream and stuff like that, and what they do, and do stuff all backwards all the time. But like, the truth is like, it would suck if everybody was like me. It would suck if everybody was like you. And you're like, oh, it'd be like nice if everybody's like me. I wouldn't have to complain anymore. Yeah, you'd still complain because you're complaining right now, because everybody's complaining about themselves because they're complaining about you and you're complaining about them, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's good that we're all different. It's good that we're all unique. It's good that we're not all leaders. And there's some people that aren't leaders, and that's okay. It's okay to not be a leader. It's okay to be happy where you are. And like, I struggle with that because personally, I want everybody to be a leader. And not everybody's a leader. Some people aren't there. Some people don't get it. Some people can't make it rain, right? Some people can't convince others to do stuff. They don't inspire them. And I go through phases where I'm not inspiring. Like, I guarantee the last couple weeks I've not been very inspiring to my team. Maybe I have been and I haven't realized it, but I don't feel like I have, right? Well, maybe the last couple weeks I have, but when I'm recording this 2 weeks before that, I don't feel like I've been super inspiring to them. But my point is like good leaders inspire. They don't command. And so that's what you're kind of looking for in these hidden leaders, is the fact that they're inspiring others to be better. They're not trying to promote themselves. They're not stepping on their hands to get up the ladder. They're saying, hey, let's come up together. Hey, let's come together. I'll help you. I'll help you get over this wall. Or they're over the wall and they lean back down to pick people up. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? That's what leaders do. Leaders guarantee the success of the whole company. They guarantee the success of the whole tribe, not just the success of themselves. Does that make sense? So when you're looking for these hidden leaders, when you're looking for the people to promote, don't go for the bosses. Don't go for the people who go, hey, get over and do this. That's not somebody you want. Go for the people who are like, hey, would you mind helping me with this? The people who naturally gravitate to them. Like, a good leader will have people naturally gravitate to them. They'll want to ride with them to work. They'll want to ride with them there. They won't be bossy. They won't be prickish. They won't be authoritative. Okay, so that's how you find some of those hidden leaders. Now, let's talk a little bit about, like, we've talked about how to find them and kind of a few of the things that I look for in some of these hidden leaders, right? And we've talked about how not everybody's a leader. And that's a good thing that not everybody's a leader. We've been through that, right? What about the people who really, really, really want to be leaders but are bosses? What do we do with them? Don't promote them. Don't put them in a leadership role. Whatever you do, don't give them what they want, because it's only going to get worse. The person who says, hey, get over here and do this, is going to be, hey, get over here and do this. And they're going to do nothing the whole time everybody else is working. So you don't want that, okay? Like, not at all. You don't want that. So you got to be aware of what you're doing, okay? Number one. Number two, you got to be aware of who you're promoting and what you're doing to them. So when we find these hidden leaders, we want to make sure that we're promoting them. Now, these bosses, the bosses that we're finding, the people who are bossy, who want to be a leader, who aren't truly leadership material, coach them. If they're coachable, they could be a phenomenal leader, but they have to be coachable. And the best way to find that out is, try coaching them. Try giving them some advice, see what happens. If they kick back and go, no, I won't do that, blah, 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 I don't know, I already know better now, blah, 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 that's not going to do any good. They're not going to be coachable. They're not somebody who's coachable. They're not going to be able to grow. They're not going to be a good leader. They're a boss. Leaders are coachable. Bosses are not. Okay, bosses think they know it all. They just want to literally sit back and do nothing. Good leaders know that they can learn, and they give people around them credit for what's going on all the time. Now, one of the things that I found, and I watch this a lot of times in a lot of different areas that I'm in, and what's going on is that, like, there are times I talk to people who work for companies, right? They work for big companies, and maybe they work on the floor, maybe they're not in leadership roles, and they think that leadership is just a big political game. Leadership is not a big political game. Leadership is not a game to get people to do what you want them to do. Well, it kind of is. But when you truly care about somebody and their success, it's not a game. Let me say that again. When you truly care about somebody and their success, it's not a game. So I've seen a lot of people who've been like, oh, these guys just all suck. It's just this leadership game and it's just all politics and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, maybe you don't quite understand because you've never been in that role before. Maybe you don't get it. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of stress that you don't see from upper level leaders that they don't show you because you don't need to know about it, right? There's a lot of good things that come from those upper level leaders too, but there's a lot of stress that comes from them. So when it comes to like finding these hidden leaders, you're looking for those people that other people are naturally drawn to, number one. Number two, you're looking for people who inspire, people who are humble, they're not arrogant, right? You're looking for some of those people. And when you're looking to promote, don't go and just look for the person who's supposed to be promoted next. Don't treat it like a government, because we all know our government sucks. Like, they promote who's been there the longest, not who's the best equipped for the job. That's the way it works. That is so backwards and failing miserably. That's why our government sucks so much money and is trillions of dollars in debt. If they ran the government like a business, they would shut it down. They just print more money right now. Like, it's ridiculous. That's for a whole nother topic though. My point here is like, don't promote the people just because they've been there longest. Oh, Joe's been here longer than Bob. He needs a promotion. No, that's not the way it works, right? That's not the way it works at all. So promote the people who truly deserve it and put the people who truly are good leaders in leadership roles. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was nice, short, and sweet. I'll be chatting with you soon. This was good. I hope you guys are kind of liking these. This was a nice short episode. We're going to continue to keep them, I think, kind of on the short side because I just don't have enough time to record hour-long episodes. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll chat with you later. You can check me out, The Real Dan Greer, on any streaming platform. Social media platform, The Real Dan Greer. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.